the next session, and on education, Peter will moderate.
Hello, good afternoon. Now, I'm Peter Song from University of Michigan, and first I would thank Hulin and Qiang for organizing this fireside chat. I think that we have seen a lot of good talks, and um, this is the third topic. Is last but not least. So I'm very honored to have the opportunity to coordinate this chat on this very, very important topic, statistical education and resources. So I hope that you agree with me that this topic may be the most urgent one among others, given the surge of AI. Can our existing statistical education program sustain its current attractions and enrollment in 3 to 5 years when students find out existing curriculum and training programs cannot help them become competitive on job market? The significant reduction in the enrollments, especially the enrollment of many statistical master programs that are essentially the money generator, the revenue for university, may have profound impact on the future of our discipline. To begin this dialogue on this very important topic, we are very lucky to have four panelists who are going to share their visions and opinions. And I should mention that originally Dr. Qiang, who wanted to come, but he's feeling under the weather, so he cannot make the panel today. So the order of presentation today is Dr. Wenyi Wang from MD Anderson, followed by Dr. Hulin Wu from UT Health, and then Dr. Chen Sun from University of Toronto, and then Dr. Bing from Berkeley. So Dr. Wang, you can begin your presentation. Thanks.
Great, thank you for the introduction. Just turn on the timer. Hi, everyone. My name is Wenyi Wang. I'm a professor at MD Anderson Cancer Center, and I did my PhD in biostatistics from Johns Hopkins University. Next slide. So let's talk. When we talk about education, let's first get into the trainees' mind as they start to think about which major and which area they wanted to focus on their training, and also think about what they're exposed to in the media and the news. So naturally, many of them will be thinking about what is the future of what are the major that can support as major pillars for modern science and practice. Is it going to be artificial intelligence, naturally, because there's so many news media and then so many impressive results, or is it going to be statistics, or both? So with that, next slide. Yeah, with that in mind, give you a case study that I learned as MD Anderson is situated in the Texas Medical Center, which is the largest medical complex in the world, has many member institutions. So here, a simplified case study, we have a prestigious university, a prestigious medical school. So with the university, we have a very good STAT program, but relatively small enrollment at maximum 10 PhD students a year, with just a few of them may or may not work on computational biology. But if they do, they become very good scientists. But overall, the program is theoretical statistics training focused, whereas in the medical school, there has, over the past 10 years, they've been building up a computational biology program with increasing enrollment of PhD students. Last year, 16 PhD students on computational biology. And many of them came with a master's in statistics, biostatistics, and computer science. So these, in the program, they will receive substantial training further on biology and scientific research, which is important. But what that means is they will have limited time left to take on further advanced statistical education. On the other hand, since the computational, the large language model research and deep learning research are shaping up quickly and taking up many of these their thesis topics. So as you can see right here, that imbalance in the trainee growth rate in who will come out to immediately influence biomedical sciences. Next slide. And now let's look at from the funding side. Just over the past 10 years on cancer research only, the cancer funding agencies have put out these requests for application on around the themes of artificial intelligence. And these are not one out of 10 topics, but one out of 2 or 3 topics that they're looking for applications to fund at the individual level, or at the team level, 2 to 6 million, or at a mega funding level, to 10 to 20 25 million. So here at the bottom, you see the TA3. So it's a third out of the total 3 themes that will consider deserving a mega funding level on an analysis platform. So here is still we have a room for statistical applications specifically, but using AI was quoted multiple times in the description of TA3. So, and then go back one slide. So what that means is the pillar of AI is definitely being consolidated, but who will actually get these grants on AI? Well, we talk about, we hear about statisticians should get into AI, but even for statisticians who are good at AI, their chance of getting these grants are much lower than those who are trained in computational biology, who can address the cancer biology questions specifically that are listed as the goal from these cancer agency. Next slide. Hence this cycle repeated multiple times would run the risk of reducing the impact of the support from the statistical education that could give to the science. And as we all believe, with all the discussions, that statistics is a strong pillar of science. So without providing the statistical education to this community, then we're not, in my opinion, we're not doing justice to science. Next slide. So then how do we empower it? Just very high level overview that first and foremost, we need business and leadership training on the leaders so that they can put a group team together and obtain large grants, and then revamp our recruitment to be able to recruit more talents. And that's on the individual level. And then society, from the society level, we need a unified voice, which is why we're here, whether we want to rebrand statistics. And if we do, how do we rebrand it? Is statistics considered a pillar? Should statistics be considered as a pillar of science? And most importantly is we need to team up. All right, that's my cue. Last slide. Yeah, so, and then this is one example of StatsUp AI Alliance, and then over the past 2 months, we built this website with the goal of empowering statisticians in the age of AI. With that, I'll end my discussion.
Thank you, Wenyi. We'll move to next presentation by Dr. Wu. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Peter. And yeah, the question is, do we really want to expand statistics training to data science and AI? So that's where we have to think about. If yes, in what degree, right? That's the question. Next, please. So first, whether we want to keep the identity of statistics. This is a different definitions of statistics from ASA, Wikipedia, Florida State. That's where I received PhD training in statistics, and UC Irvine. Like different people have different definitions, but there are something in common, right? Keyword like data, mathematics, uncertainty. Next, please. In summary, looks like the statistics actually is a new interdisciplinary discipline from mathematics, originally from mathematics. And we basically have these 4 pillars. One is the theoretical foundation, that's mathematics. The second one is the statistical principles, models, methods, theories we developed, which is the key for statistical discipline, that try to deal with the random or stochastic uncertainty and variation. And the third one is implementation, that's from computer science or programming. The last one is application with some domain knowledge. Again, the question is, do we want to keep the focus of the unique feature of statistics that's dealing with random uncertainty? When we talk about the expansion, right, to do AI, to do data science, do we still want this? Or how much do we want to keep this? In what degree we want to move away from this? Next, please. So this is data science. What data science means, my understanding is, data science means science regarding data, right? May include these topics, right? Study design for data collection, data management, data cleaning, data analysis. Number 5, yeah, is our focus, right? Traditional statistics. Number 6 is database prediction. This is like AI, deep learning things. We are partially of it, that includes statistics and computer science. Number 7 is data interpretation, annotation. Statistics also contribute partially. And number 8 and 9, is data presentation, or last one is data engineering, which is produce data product or tool development. So again, many of these steps are not involved in any random uncertainty or real traditional statistics. How much do we want to expand, this statistical data science, cover those non-randomness, like no traditional statistics, more computer technologies probably. Next. This is the question. And so this is a key question, if we want to expand, if yes, in what degree? And should we train all the statisticians to become data scientists? If not, what percentage statisticians should be trained to be a data scientist? 50, 80%, or 20%? Can we design our training program to personalize or diversify statistical training so that some people can do more theoretical traditional statistics, some people do applied statistics, some people probably do data science, even more, some people do data engineering, just produce products. Do we have enough resources to do this? If this is a good idea, then the question is, do we have enough resources to afford to do this? You need to cover this wide, wide range of courses, So that's the question we have to think about. Next. So this is our experience, like our department actually in the UT Health Houston, we have a very large PhD program. We have more than 160 PhD students, In the past year, we have changed our name, to Biostatistical Data Science. In the last year, we changed the degree name to the Biostatistical Data Science. So far, we have recruited 3 faculty with PhD in computer science. We also established 2 data science certificates. And we developed this, 7 new courses in data science, we call, Introduction to Data Science, Fundamentals of Data Analytics and Predictions, and the Data Science Computing, Machine Learning and Practice, Advanced Data Science Analytics methods that include deep learning, AI, and the big data in practice, and also communication, collaboration, leadership for biostatisticians and data scientists. So I'm not sure whether we expand enough, or do we need to do more expansion? We don't want to move 100% to computer science or more like other technologies that we may lose identity of statistics, but we want to expand some. So that's what we have to think about, the degree of expansion, and also think about whether we have enough resources. Do we need to hire more people from computer science who do data science to help us expand? So then we have to argue with the leader to allow us to do that. So I do have 2 more slides, but I will stop here. Maybe I will talk during discussions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Hulin. And let's move to a relatively junior faculty, Qiang from UT, and then go ahead, Qiang.
Okay, so my name is Qiang. I come from University of Toronto, also visiting at BZUA currently. Let's go to the next slide. So a lot of panelists have already defined statistics, right? And for example, Hongtu Zhu and Tianxi, they have mentioned we should really do end-to-end research, including starting from data collection to production. So I want to emphasize the importance of production. And this is actually where we want to production our algorithms into real products so that it benefits the greater science. We definitely need related knowledge, say system engineering. So often when I describe statistics to non-statisticians, I would describe statistics as the new physics of data. So it should really be inclusive. Next slide. But in order to actually, solving the problems in each component of this statistics, we actually like many things in practice. For example, not to mention data collection. If you want to run over a large study, you need that sort of resource. But let's say if you do have the resource, we definitely need more open source data set from various different domains. We know ImageNet has pushed the boundaries of deep learning. We have data sets like large scale data sets like UK Biobank. But most of the open source data I know of are biomedical related. So we definitely need open source data set from different domains, such as data set from industry like trading data, or data set from content sharing platform. If you have the resource, we should push them to to release open source data set so that we can benefit the whole community of statistics and machine learning. We often also lack engineering abilities. And a lot of the stats department does not really have very good computing infrastructures, aka GPU clusters. I think it's a very good time to invest in this computing infras. Another thing I think we statisticians are not good at is advertising our jobs, right? We rarely create demos and GitHub pages to showcase the usage of our algorithms or our developed methodologies. But a lot of machine learners, they are very good at this. And hopefully we will have more and more faculty and students working on open source projects and try to open source their models, open source the data set, so we can build a community like Hugging Face to better the future of statistics. Next slide. So in responding to this different bullet points and the things we like, I think it's a good time to change some of the curriculum. Definitely we need to bring deep learning and AI into the curriculum. I think the first most important thing is actually we need to equip our students with strong engineering abilities. We need to teach them courses on database programming and also system engineering. And also, Hulin also mentioned, we probably should train data scientists as well as statisticians. So current graduate program for most of stats department, they are a one-for-all program. A lot of students, almost all the students in the stats program, they take like 3-year-long courses when they pass a comprehensive exam. And after that, they start to do research. But now, actually, I think in the age of AI, we actually have students that might be interested in very different things. Some students are interested in engineering. Some students might be interested in science, applied science. So I think it's probably also a good time to create different tracks for students, right? We can have computational data science track. We can have the theory track. We can have the AI track. So different students can choose their own track. So we definitely need to recruit more faculty and also more students from very different backgrounds, right? Often an argument I hear from like a search committee for recruiting your students or faculty members is that this candidate is not a good fit for the stats department. They are better fit as computer science department. I think we can be more open-minded about this. And as some of the panelists have already mentioned, for graduate research, if students work on very different areas, for example, publishing open source data set, working on applied science, deep learning engineering, or maybe machine learning theory. So there's not a very good outlet for this for the students who publish papers. We should encourage students to publish elsewhere, like machine conference and journals. And again, it's very hard to comprehend some of the very complex systems such as neural networks. So sometimes simple theorems, as long as they are useful, I think they could be good theories for statistical journals. Next slide. I don't really have time, so I'll just stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, Qiang, and for your presentation. Let's move to the next panelist. Bing, please go ahead.
Thank you, Xihong and Qiang and others for inviting me. So here I'd like to start. Next slide, please. So to follow up our early discussions, I really want to share my personal views. For me, I really have been not wanting to differentiate statistics, machine learning, and data science, instead recognizing there are a lot of overlaps, and I think intellectually machine learning data science really part of the frontier modern statistics. So I'm taking this very expansive, inclusive view. It has been really helpful for myself to move forward, to really embrace all the challenges, now AI. And it's my view that statistics department ought to embrace machine learning as our own in our classes and in our research topics. And I do believe statistics, machine learning, data science is really critical to AI, especially when moving to the phase of trustworthiness, safety, and alignment of AI with human intentions. Next slide, please. It's already mentioned in Xiaoli's talk. I think actually I picked up this term data science lifecycle when I was co-teaching a data science class, Data 100, like 6-7 years ago with CS and Stat colleagues. There, actually, I picked up this term data science lifecycle. If you look at statistics, that people like George Box have been written about this investigation process, but we didn't really pick up the whole holistic process or system science view of statistics. And I think statistics education serves a purpose. So to go back to Wenyi's like medicine, then if we use that context, our students in our program need to produce computational reproducible and scientific reproducible, it's also called replicable data results in solving a real problem. So I think if we keep that in mind, it's not just data, it's about solving problems. I think a lot of other decisions will be a lot easier to make. So that's what we want our students to do. Then the philosophy I have is really the growth model. The world is changing very, very fast. We cannot possibly teach them everything they will need to use, but if we can help them to learn how to learn, then they will have the ability to pick up anything new coming their way. And the skills on top of the many desirable skills mentioned, I will add critical thinking. It's really the ability to synthesize both coding, including database, mathematics, and domain knowledge in a way that reasonable, makes sense, and solve the problem. And the collaboration culture and skills is getting more and more important. Also, when you talk, it's big like teamwork. I don't think any major undertaking outside, like in real world, is now done by a team. Next, please. And the specific areas I think we can enhance or develop our curriculum is kind of synthesis many of the things talked about. It's really this process view. It's a system, it's a workflow, not just the modeling phase. We have to move away from we only care about algorithm. Data cleaning is a huge deal. And computational reproducibility, coding skills, we should take advantage of Copilot, GitHub, and red teaming to get code really vetted. And the machine learning and AI skills, for example, deep learning and reinforcement learning should be part of our basic curriculum, just like we used to take linear models. And scientific reproducibility is a little less well-defined. That's where I think quantitative critical thinking in context becomes extremely important. And this is part of the, I think, skill set won't be replaced by AI in any near future. And we need also trustworthy uncertainty quantification. We really, own this uncertainty quantification, but need to evaluate and really look at the whole data science life cycle, not just the modeling stage. And we need to pick up new mathematical skills. I think optimization should become a basic training for statisticians. And leadership, interpersonal skills, ethics, and team culture. This can be cultivated in coding together, lead a team in a classroom, how to write a report, a paper, and presentation. This is all great opportunity to train leadership, interpersonal, and ethic skills. Next, please. So here, couldn't resist advertising for some work we have done with my former student, Rebecca Barton at Utah Medical School. So this was actually attempt started 9 years ago when Rebecca was a first-year PhD student, tried to build on a class I've been teaching in Berkeley called 215A. I've been teaching basically most of the time for 15 years and follow up on this important contribution, the people who went before me, David Freeman, Terry Speed, David Blinger. I really tried to think what are the new ingredients I want to introduce in training and from my research. So it's really an attempt to address many of the challenges that have been discussed. And we have a name, thanks to Qiang here, called Vertical Data Science, which is a great name. And it's being published in October by MIT Press in their Adaptive Computing and Machine Learning series. So actually, Francis Bach, who is the editor-director, series editor, reached out to me. And when he heard I was looking for a publisher, and they had no problem including this data science from a statistics into the machine learning series. So I think we just really integrating two communities, and we should just embrace both machine learning and data science and AI. So free online version is already available at vdsbook.com. And Xiaoli has kindly publishing a book review by Yuval and Yuval and Yuval Benjamini from Israel, I think will appear maybe soon. And the pre-order at Amazon, it's already available. I also want to say that we are running a vertical data science workshop in May 31st this year with Stanford, the first Berkeley Stanford workshop. So if you go to my website, you'll see the ad and Qiang and many others will speak. And so people often ask, next slide, how does our book differ from traditional books? Actually, it took 9 years. We wrote many versions because the guiding principles, PCS framework, tried to really form one culture, follow on Leo Bryman's two culture paper, to integrate the consideration from statistics and also expanded and also machine learning. And that framework has been evolving in our research projects. So the first thing I think at the high level is that we really move away from the true model framing in traditional textbooks. Actually, I teach it with a traditional book from David Freeman. So this is really go together. We try not to overlap too much. It's really come from the point of view when you really do something in practice. The first thing is actually what's the problem you try to solve. So we start from there. And what data you have, you might collect. And we have a whole chapter on data cleaning, going back to earlier themes people talked about. So we organize through the whole data science life cycle, just like how we do research and industry. And we really unify through these 3 principles called PCS itself is evolving and emphasize documentation, documentation, documentation. And we try to fill gaps between domain problems to symbols, right? Usually we start with X and Y. I taught many, many years statistics, we start with a big X. Now, try to be very careful when you introduce random variable, you're making assumptions. You have more data you could imagine you could collect in other situations. And we do teach traditional techniques and through case studies and with a PCS overlay. So how to do stability analysis, how to do reliability check, how to worry about computations. And the exercises contain true and false, mathematical exercise, and also data analysis with codes, with solutions. And we have the Python code. It's really, Rebecca, my co-author, did all the heavy lifting on that. And we actually, in terms of coming back to our central theme, uncertainty quantification, we attempt, it's only beginning, it's definitely very much ongoing, 2 new sources of uncertainty beside like bootstrap and data regeneration. The uncertainty coming from different choices people make in data cleaning and also model choices. So recently there are 2 papers, one from social science, one from ecology, hundreds of teams of people work on the same data. They didn't work about data cleaning and reach different qualitative scientific conclusions. So this is the beginning of PCS inference, but it's very much ongoing. That's chapter 13. And the intended audience is actually upper division, beginning graduate students. And for data science, machine learning statistics classes, either you can use it as a primary textbook or secondary, just tell people to read it. And we also try to make it accessible to domain scientists, for our collaborators who want to enter statistics, machine learning, data science. And I hope you find the book useful. And we also produce some software to make the PCS analysis easy called the vFlow on GitHub. And we have a documentation template, actually result from collaboration with MD Anderson on a prostate cancer prediction. I think I'm done. I don't know if Wenyi did music yet.
Yes, she did. But anyway,
Oh,
thanks for
sorry,
your
I didn't
presentation.
hear.
It's very insightful, and I'm certainly
Sorry,
going
I
to buy
want-
your
yeah.
VSD VDS book for sure, and that's excellent news for us. And so it's certainly good. So now I want to invite Dave to share some of his comments, opinions on these important topics. Dave, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, first of all, the whole time, the discussion since the beginning has been excellent. There's almost nothing that I could possibly disagree with in what people say. So it's just a matter of re-emphasizing certain things. I'll give a shout out. I was born in Houston, Texas. I had the good fortune of being there during pandemic for a year. And the Texas Medical Center is the largest, most unbelievable medical center on earth. It's like 1 mile square of hospitals. Amazing. And there were some very good ideas, both by Wenyi and Hulin. Hulin brought up the question of whether we want to move away from statistics. And I feel it's not that we're going to move away from statistics, but we're going to affiliate with a changing world and use the methods that we have. So maybe the idea that statistics is like what Qiang said of the physics of data or something will help us to engage. I wanted to bring up this one issue here. This is the task we face, thanks to XY Han made this for me with using DALL-E, I think. Moving from ideas of education that go back centuries towards ideas that are obviously going to dominate the future. The problem is the following thing. If you read this book, you'll learn that university presidents have tried to change education in various ways, and education is the most resistant to change institution in existence. It's actually what Hulin said amazes me, the amount of change that they've been able to do, because I wish I could do some of those changes. Some of the things that Qiang said, I wish I could do. I just don't think that I could actually get these things done at my institution. There are changes happening at the individual level of courses. And so a Stanford student's PhD thesis was comparing what happened in computer science over the last 10 years and in mathematics. And you see that a lot of the discontinued courses in math include Euclidean theorem, geometry, things that we considered eternal. And then a lot of new courses that are coming in include linear regression, model, and optimization. So even mathematics is changing. And of course, computer science has gone from, operating systems to machine learning. You can read about this in a PhD thesis of Jacob Light at Stanford. And you can read, it'll tell you more. If you look in various places, they'll tell you that that AI and data science are changing. I just wanted to point to the fact that people are tracking these things, and perhaps we should be tracking them as well. I think the point that we can maybe be helping prepare people's several points along this spectrum is very important. I do like the fact that statistician jobs don't stay open as long as any of the other disciplines. So it's not all bleak. I really appreciate what Binyu has done, and I am considering, I certainly pre-order the book, but I'm considering definitely finding a way to use that in instruction. So many good ideas throughout all the discussion that we've had. I think we just have to choose to do these things, even in the face of the fact that universities are extremely conservative, slow to change, reluctant to change. Possibly it's worth reading some of the accounts of university presidents who really, really have been frustrated by the ability to change universities. And maybe we will learn from the computer scientists more about how to face these difficulties. Thanks for the opportunity to participate. It's been an excellent discussion. I'm very proud of the North American participants in the WeChat for getting this going, and I'm proud of all the participants who put in so many good ideas in front of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Xihong, I noticed that now it's 1 minute past 1 o'clock Eastern time, so we're a little bit out of this planned time framework. Do we go another round of questions, or you want wrap it up? What do you think? Xihong?
Yeah, so if people have a quick comments, and people can stay a little bit and asking questions, and we can take a small number of questions.
Sure. Let's do a quick round of quick questions, if any. Okay. Okay. I say Xiaoli is first. Go ahead, Xiaoli.
Trying to be quick.
Quick.
Just to mention that there are quite a bit of discussions about how much we should train, or students should we train them as a data scientist. I want to say that in general, we shouldn't try to train our students as a data scientist, in the sense like we don't train a student to be a scientist. We'll be training a student to be whether physicist or chemist or biologist. But we should have a student have a broad knowledge about data science, like the data science life cycles, right? So I think the model we should be thinking about is medical school, right? Medical school, you don't train a doctor to be a doctor of everything, no such, anytime you say, I'm a doctor, people will say, what kind of medicine do you practice, right? But they do have a broad training. Now they have all kinds of problems. They do rotations, they have good selections. I think there's a model can work, and we should learn that. But I think we should not try and think about, we should learn everything. That's just not possible. It's not very, this is why I openly against any idea of building a department of data science. You could have a college of data science, school of data science, but you don't have a department of science, right? You have a school of science, just because otherwise you're screening way too much. But I think a medical school model is the one that we can think about.
Oh, next, Qiang. Just be quick.
Yeah, so I have 3 very quick questions of comments. One is, as faculty member, we can model risk-taking behaviors to get ourselves uncomfortable. I think when you move into a new domain, you often have a fears and discomfort with the newest of the things, and our student too. So as a senior faculty, we need to model such risk-taking behaviors. Second, I think for curriculum design, that we need to apply more design thinking. This is fun, and then especially done in teams. I think the workshop Peter is organizing for curriculum discussions will be a great opportunity for us to form teams and do things together. This will actually conquer some of the issues, talk about resistance to change in higher education, because if we move together, we will counter the resistance a little bit better.
Thank you, Qiang. Bing.
Yeah, so thank you for excellent discussion. So I want to have a concrete suggestion is, I think data has been like a rare commodity for us. And within Berkeley, I was SCF director, the computing director, and we're discussing possibly have some database of shared case studies, good documentation, even videos. So I wonder whether this is something this group might want to work on together. So we get data sets with good, better documentation and even videos, domain knowledge to enrich the benchmark kind of machine learning practice. Just put it out there, maybe to follow up later if any people are interested.
Great, thank you, Bing. Xun.
Thank you. Thank you, first of all, for this great discussion. It's very inspiring and enlightening. I may be the one of the few industry representatives in this conversation. I think there are maybe like many audience have large inspirations, questions like to follow up. I just want to ask one question or one comment. I think the term about identity of statistics or identity of statisticians really make me think a lot. What do we mean? Is that something we need to defend, we need to define, we need to protect? For example, in industry, statistician may no longer be a title going to exist in many companies. They've been changed to data scientist or modeling specialist, many type of more sexy or consider more business-oriented titles. So I think this is a topic I'd like to hear from the many thought leaders here about the identity of statistics or identity of statisticians we're facing or we want to define or present in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Annie,
Yeah, I have a quick
be
comment.
quick. Yeah.
Education, I think we do have the crisis. I feel the students going to industry or either go industry or academia, they're not learning the things they want to learn. So, so I think Peter will have a workshop May 16 to 19, and we can have more discussion about this education crisis and the revolutionary change for our curriculum.
Tianxi, be quick. Yeah.
I just want to mention, following Bing's comment, I think a few of us had related discussions about the shared infrastructure, building up basically some, a website containing the code, the source of data, and so that we can actually share. For example, UK Biobank, actually many people can have access to, but we're not allowed to share the data. However, we're allowed to share the code. So if we're touching a similar, data set of the same structure, hopefully we can build up a shared infrastructure so that people can actually look into the data and work on the data more rapidly.
Thank you, Tianxi. Actually, I'm teaching a code sharing in my class this semester. But anyway, so I pass this to Xihong and Tian to close up the session and this panel. And Xihong.
Yeah, so I just want to thank all the panelists and moderator and also all the attendees and for joining us on Sunday for this very stimulating and forward-looking discussions. I hope this type of discussion can continue in your own institution and in your own professional circles. And so we do need those type of more brainstorming discussions and then to help the field moving forward. And Tian?
Yeah, I want to echo my thanks to everyone who participating. So at the top of the meeting, we have more than 600 participants online and more than close to 200 on YouTube. So we have more than 800 participate in this important conversation. I just want to bring up one point that David Donoho mentioned in his talk, that our graduate students are talking, our undergraduate students are talking, and then we don't talk as much as faculty, and we don't have this opportunity. So thanks to Xihong for taking the lead on putting this together in such a short time frame, because we definitely want our students to know we are thinking about the same thing, and we also very, very excited and anxious and have a great appetite for more actions in this domain. So looking forward to organize more of this conversation, and I think big and small conversation can take place both offline and online. And I think there's a great hope for statistics.
Great. Thank you, everyone. So have a good Sunday.
Okay,
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.